Alastor, ex-listener. You tell him on a Tuesday, or whatever a Tuesday passes for in hell. The neon outside the hotel windows hums a low electric whine. The lobby mostly empty except for a few shadows drifting past, their echoes swallowed by the old carpet and the smell of dust and cigarette smoke. He's exactly where you knew he'd be. In one of the armchairs near the big radio, legs crossed so perfectly, Kane propped up against his knee. The music from the old gramophone scratches softly, some old jazz tunes only he remembers from when it was still new. Alastor looked up the second that he stepped in. "Ah," he sings, all teeth and charm. "There you are, my dear. I was beginning to wonder if I'd sent a search party out." You almost smiled. Muscle memory, it must be. Instead, you closed the door behind you. "We need to talk." His grin didn't falter, but something in the room tightens, like the air had just pulled back its lungs. "Oh." He leans forward, eyes glinting. "Now that sounds serious. Should I be concerned, or is this another delightful attempt to lecture me on healthy coping mechanisms?" You don't laugh. "I'm serious." He watches you for a moment, tapping gloved fingers against the armrest, drumming a lazy little rhythm. The static around him seems to rise, a faint shadow hiss under his voice. "Very well," he says as his tone smooths out, that strange old world politeness sliding into place. "You have my undivided attention, darling." You walk closer, but not close enough to touch him. You used to stand right at his knee, leaning into his shoulder and playing with a loose thread on his sleeve, while he talked circles around everyone else. Now the distance between you two seemed like you were never even close to begin with. I can't do this anymore, Alastor." The words hover in the air, soft but heavy, like ash that refused to fall. He tilted his head. "Do what, exactly?" "This." You gesture between the two of you. "Us, whatever this is supposed to be." There's a beat of silence, and the radio behind him crackles, then pops, cutting out for half a second, before the music stutters back on. His smile's still there, but a hollowness around the edges now. "I see," he says lightly. "And what exactly has brought on this epiphany, little songbird? Have I forgotten an anniversary? Failed to provide sufficient entertainment?" You clench your hands. That's exactly it. You stuttered, but composed yourself. "To you, this is entertainment." He raises a brow, amused. "Is that not the point of most relationships? Mutual amusement, companionship, little bargains of comfort and distraction." You swallow. "To you, maybe. To everybody else, maybe, but not to me." You stare at him, at that forever grin, at those eyes that you never could quite soften the way you wished they would. "I love you," you say, and his fingers twitch once on the armrest. Or, "I tried to. I kept believing that. Trying that." You stutter once again. "I hoped that there was more under the show, and the laughter and the theatrics were just armor, but maybe if I stayed long enough that you'd let me see the rest." "Careful," he murmured, voice pitching lower. "You're beginning to sound like you think I have a soul." "That's the problem," you shoot back. "I kept acting like you did." Static bites the air, sharp this time. A picture frame on the wall glitches, setting an image inside, twisting for a moment, before settling. "You knew who I was when we started this arrangement," he reminds you. The cheer in his tone feels forced now. "A record that had played itself one too many times. I never misrepresented myself. I never promised you hearts and flowers and that little white picket fence, and I never asked for any of that. You cut in, your voice trembling now with anger and grief tangling together. I asked for you to treat me like a little bit more than a doll on a string. I asked for you to not use me as bait without telling me. I asked you not to smile like nothing happened after you tore people apart in front of me and expected me to sit on your lap like a little prop that belongs there. He went very still. You were never bait, he said, a thin edge creeping into his words. You are under my protection. You scoffed at that. Protection? Your protection is what almost got me killed last week, you spit. That overlord came after me to get to you, and you knew it was a possibility, and you didn't tell me. His eyes narrowed. I handled it, did I not? That's not the point. You finally rose your voice and echoed, sharp off the high ceiling. You decided it for me, again, because you don't just see me as someone who gets to choose just another piece when you're bored. He watches you unblinking. The radio hum deepens and the room seems to darken at the edges. And now, he says softly, you wish to remove yourself from the game. Your throat tightens. I want to feel like a person, Alastor. You can't stop now. It all seems to spill from you like a dam breaking. I'm tired of begging for crumbs, tired of wondering if you actually care, or if you just like the way I look hanging off your arm. I'm tired of being scared and having to laugh it off because fear is charming. I'm tired of trying to bleed in front of you and having you tilt your head and ask if this is supposed to move you somehow. His smile faded into something else now. Not a frown exactly, but a flatness, a blank spot where the performance usually sat. You're asking me to be something I am not, he says quietly. No, you whisper. I'm realizing you never will be. You wipe at your eyes with the back of your hand, hating how much it stung. I can't keep loving someone who won't meet me halfway, you said. Who won't meet me at all. Really? You just stand there and let me crash into you and call it intimacy. There in your chest twists when he does, and immediately respond with some glib little line and some joke to spin it. That silence seemed to feel worse. His gaze drifted down and then back up, searching for your face like he was looking for a trick or a punchline. And if I told you I enjoy your presence, he asked finally, that I find you diverting. But the time we've spent together has been more pleasant than most amusements I've found in decades. He spreads his hands. Is that not enough? For friends, you say? Maybe. The word hangs there, awful and honest. You see it hit him the way the tiny cracks run through his posture. His head tilted slightly too far to one side, as if the concept is a frequency he hasn't tuned to. Friends, he repeats, pasting it. How sweet. You speak again. It's better than pretending that this is something else. Your voice softened. You don't love me, Alastor. Not the way I need you to. You like me. You're possessive of me. You might even care in your own warped way, but that isn't enough for what I feel. There it is. The flinch, the glitch in the corner. And it was gone so fast that you almost imagined it. And so, he says carefully, You are breaking up with me. Yes. The needle reaches the end, and the record, with a silent scrape. The voice falls silent, and so does the room. For the first time since you've known him, you see Alastor truly quiet. No humming, no static-filled commentary, just stillness.